Hey guys, Doug B here. I had planned on talking about the new firmware again this week, but then less than 1 week after Fender released firmware 1.6, they released Fender Studio, a free version of the PreSonus Studio 1 DAW. So for you folks that have been interested in getting a DAW, but were put off by the price, this one is definitely for you. Now, I first heard about Fender Studio the other day when I was reading the comments about my video on the Arctic and the Antarctic sustainers. At Microbrew207 and at Paul Lewis 9627 both asked me if I knew if the Fender Studio app would integrate with the Tone Master Pro. So I started doing some research, and then I downloaded and installed Fender Studio. Let's take a look and see what it's all about. I'll post the link to Fender Studio in the description. Fender says this about Fender Studio: record, jam, and capture your creativity whenever and wherever it strikes. Packed with authentic Fender tones, Fender Studio is fast, fun, and free for guitar players and music creators of all types. So they say that you can use this app whenever and wherever. But what does that mean? Well, with full support on iOS, Android, Windows, macOS, and Linux, Fender Studio works seamlessly on everything from iPhones and Chromebooks to PCs, Macs, and more. All you need is an interface so that you can connect your guitar to the app, and that's where the Tone Master Pro comes in. Fender makes it very easy to assign the Tone Master Pro as your audio interface. However, you can use just about any audio interface, as long as it's recognized by your computer, tablet, or phone. But let's just say that you haven't bought a Tone Master Pro yet and you don't have an audio interface. How can you connect? Fender has also released Fender Link I/O, an audio interface that goes for just under $90. It has a 1/4-inch jack for your guitar input, a USB-C jack for connecting to your recording device, and a stereo 1/4-inch jack for headphones. It gets its power from the USB connection. And just like the Tone Master Pro, Fender makes it very easy to assign the Link I/O as your audio interface. When you boot up Fender Studio for the first time, you get an 8-track version that has 2 amps and 5 effects. If you register the software, you get 16 tracks to use, plus 5 more amps and 6 more effects. You also get access to 20 jam sessions, which are multi-tracked songs that you can play along with or edit. Now, one thing you might want to consider: this is more or less a starter DAW. If you've already been using another DAW, you'll probably want to stick with that. For one thing, Fender Studio appears to be a self-contained DAW. There's no way to use any third-party VSTs or AUs. You're limited to 16 tracks, 7 amps, and 11 effects. There's a decent set of editing and mixing tools, such as compression, EQ, limiting, expanding, delay, reverb, and so on. But remember, this software is totally free. It is a great way to start learning how to work with DAWs. There's also some online videos that show you how this app works, as well as a fairly comprehensive online user manual. All right, let's take a look at Fender Studio. This is the screen that you'll see when you start up Fender Studio. Your choices are Open, Jam, New, and Record. Also, in the upper right-hand corner, there's a 3-line icon. Click on it, and you'll see options for audio setup, language, user guide, tutorials, Fender Studio website, and about. Click on Audio Setup, and you can choose your record device, playback device, sample rate, and block size. My record device is the Tone Master Pro, and my playback device is my PreSonus Studio 1810C audio interface. I'm using a sample rate of 44.1 kilohertz, and my block size is 32 samples. The block size option goes down as low as 16, but I'm good with 32. There's no noticeable latency, and I'm not stressing my Mac Mini. Now, if you notice any dropouts or digital noise, try raising the block size. Just keep in mind that the smaller your block size is, the less latency you'll have. Going back to the four main options, if you click on Open, you get a list of all the recent sessions you've created. To delete any of them, click up here on All, and you'll see the total list of sessions that you have on your system. Click on this little three-line icon on the right, and you'll get the option to delete any or all of your sessions. Now, of course, since you have just opened this app for the first time, you won't have any sessions to deal with. Click on the back arrow in the upper left-hand corner to get back to the main screen. The second option is called Jam. Click on it, and you'll see the list of 20 jam sessions that Fender included. There are over a dozen different types of multi-track jam sessions, including reggae, pop, country, metal, and more. To the right of each jam session, you have options to download or audition. If you just want to play along, click on the audition icon. If you want to go a step further and record a part, click on the download icon. This will load the jam session into a new recording session where you can edit, add, or delete tracks. You can solo or mute each track, which helps you to understand how a track works in a song. You can also delete unwanted jam session recording sessions by clicking on the icon that looks like three lines next to a pencil. That's this guy here. You're given the option to delete the recording session associated with that jam session. So you'd highlight it and then click uninstall. Now you won't delete the actual jam session, you'll just be deleting the recording session that you created. Press the back arrow again. The third option is called New. This is where you'd create a new recording session. You can record some guitar riffs, or you can record a whole song. You can also import files such as drum tracks. When you select this option, you're sent to a recording session, and there's a small panel labeled Add Track. You can choose whether you're adding vocals, guitar, bass, or other. You can also select from a group of presets that have various recording options already set up. For example, if you choose guitar, there are 8 different options to choose from. If you choose Anthem, then click OK, then click on the guitar, you get a recording chain that has a Fender twin reverb, an overdrive, a mono delay, and a small room reverb. Compression and EQ settings have also been set. However, now that you've created a track, there are even more presets to choose from. There's a set of 23 presets for amps and effects, and another list of 13 presets for compression and EQ. If you had created a bass track, there are 7 initial presets. But then there are another 17 presets for bass amps and effects to choose from once you've created the track. It's a little confusing at first, but you'll quickly get the hang of it. One of the things that I found interesting was that if you click on the signal path, it looks just like the signal path on the Tone Master Pro. So this section will be very familiar if you already own a Tone Master Pro. But I'm guessing that the included amps and effects are not taken from the Tone Master Pro. Now, one of the things that I thought was interesting, if you click on amp settings for the amp, not only do you have choices for bright switch, noise gate, or gate position, you also have options for sag, and you have options for tube bias. I'm hoping that it means that they'll be adding these options to the Tone Master Pro in the next big release. The fourth option is called Record, and that's what you'll be doing as soon as you choose this option. Let me show you. Hit this, and it starts recording right away. I'm guessing that you'd use this if you had an idea that you wanted to record quickly before you forgot about it. All right, let me show you a demo song that I recorded entirely in Fender Studio. The first thing I did was to go through the jam sessions to see if I can use the drums from any of them. I chose Echoes of the Glen. So you download it. So here's what the Echoes of the Glen project looks like. So I deleted all the other tracks, and now I just have the drums. After that, I went down here to BPM and changed the BPM to 80. I'm guessing that these are MIDI loops and that they use drum samples, but this is very powerful. At this point, the best thing to do is to save this session with a new name. I'm calling it Doug's Studio Demo Session. Now let me show you what the drums sound like by themselves. I made sure to turn on the metronome because otherwise I'd have no count in. So next I recorded a rhythm guitar part. Now I could use the sounds from the Tone Master Pro, but for this demo I'll use the amps and effects that come with Fender Studio. Now I panned that guitar part all the way to the left. Let me play it for you. I added another rhythm guitar part and panned that one all the way to the right. Let me play that for you. Then I put down the bass track, and it sounds like this. And the last part that I recorded was the solo. And this is what I would be working on over and over again to get the solo just right. And as you listen to it, you can tell I do not have it dialed in quite yet. But I would work on this over and over until I got that solo just exactly right. The solo sounds like this. Alright, the tracks are all recorded, so it's time to mix this song. The first thing we would do is to turn off the metronome, because you don't want to hear that clicking during your recording. Now go to the upper right hand corner and choose the fifth icon, which looks like 4 vertical lines. Click on it, and you'll see faders for all of your recorded parts. Use them to balance your mix. You want to be able to hear all of the parts, so don't crank that solo to the point that it's overbearing. Think of this as if you're working for a band that recorded this song. Will all of the band members approve of the mix? Now there's still an awful lot to go over. And if this was a recording tutorial, it would take well over an hour, if not longer, to go over all of the options. Make sure to check out the online manual. It will help you to get used to using this program. And if enough of you want it, I'll do a detailed video for using Fender Studio to create a song. And remember, you can also add vocal parts or keyboards, etc. It all depends on what you hear in your head. You can make this your masterpiece or just an idea that you want to share with your bandmates. All right, let's listen to the finished demo. All right, guys, I hope this video gave you some insight into Fender Studio and that it gives you the impetus to give it a try. I mean, it is totally free. It's fairly comprehensive. It gives you all that you need to start off with, so there's nothing missing. Now, I'd like to know, have you already downloaded and installed Fender Studio? Have you tried it out? What do you think about it? Drop me a line in the comments. And if you're still here, thank you so much for stopping by and sticking around. I really do appreciate it. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, drop me a line down here and I will get back to you as soon as I possibly can. Now, next week we will definitely be back to the new firmware. You don't want to miss that. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell. All right, guys, have a fantastic week, and I'll be talking with you again next Wednesday.